when you know better than him, do you have to think about the power dynamic and adjust yourself around that, or can you just say what you mean, or say what the right thing is to them?
Yes,
because the problem with that is that you now have to, instead of actually telling him what the right answer is, you have to consider the power dynamic to make him feel like he's in control still. Like, doesn't that elongate the problem? Doesn't that?
Well, y'all propaganda done ruined your generation, bro.
So I saw a couple of people's faces twisting up a little bit. We'll start with you, Sam. You were the original face twister.
Well, I mean, I can definitely respect that opinion as far as expect like some people have that expectation of I guess men being like the dominant and just women being submissive and just following along. I personally can't say that I would ever consider myself a submissive woman to a man like that. So it's just kind of like, I think it's more about like the words that are being said rather than like the actual definition of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, submissive get everybody.
The power.
Submission is power. Is the word that.
What?
It's like a bad word.
That word submissive, it locks down everybody. It triggers every woman that's ever been on this panel completely.
Okay, well, I'm glad to know that I fall into the realm of...
John, doesn't that mean that there's something wrong with it if no girl likes it?
I like it.
Ooh, what's up?
Okay, but so just throwing in a different type of girl's perspective, I mean, submission, it has to come from a place of respect and trust.
Bam.
And and like, I don't know, at the same time, it really just depends on the situations. But I would like to be in a healthy relationship in which it's more an equity of power rather than this person is the dominant. Like we make
that's
decisions.
when we're gonna argue. That's where we'll disagree right there. We ain't gonna have no equity of power because I can stop a burglar. Can you?
Oh, okay. So you're talking about
one. We're not gonna be no equity because when we're talking about equity, we're gonna split everything 50-50.
You want to talk? Because you're talking
about the oil.
You're talking about something physical. Obviously, like in most cases, a woman physically cannot defend herself against someone bigger than her that has a weapon. Right. But like in other situations, like when it comes to mental situations or maybe even emotional situations with children, like obviously a man isn't always going to know how to, sorry, I'm reading that. A man isn't always going to know how to handle those types of situations as well. So it's not like, hey, like my kid is crying because her boyfriend broke up with her. Like, let me go to my man and have him tell me exactly what I should say to this kid. Make sure that it works out. You know,
I guess
you might have to.
But
you might have to. But
I have a question.
You always have to.
Hold on, Elmer. Give me 1 second. Japrice, you wanted to say something?
So, to Sam, your name, right? So, pretty much you think that submissiveness is like you are only submissive conditionally. Like you said, you don't see yourself being submissive to if you do like have a relationship, the man in your life, like your partner. You said you don't see yourself being submissive.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't equate it to being submissive. If that makes
sense. So what if the guy in your relationship said that he doesn't see himself being masculine to you? So only on Saturdays and Sundays he's gonna dress like a man, but Monday through Friday he's gonna dress like a woman. He's gonna be like, "Hey, girl."
How often does that happen?
I mean,
How often
sometimes
does
it's
that
gonna be
happen?
masculine
so this is
Like,
to
how,
you.
why would you bring up such a rare point that never
Nah,
happens
because
to
That's
anybody
here's
he's
else?
the
making
thing
a
though.
bigger point.
no,
That's
it's
how
not
it
funny
sounds.
with that.
Hold on,
He's
that's
making
how
her.
it sounds to a man when you say that I'm only going to be like I'm only submissive to a certain point, or I don't see myself being submissive. That's how it sounds.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be physical. It has to be like a
There's a lot of
reactionary thing or a mental thing.
Yeah,
There's like very subtle lines to femininity and masculinity. Like it doesn't have to be that she's just gonna put a do-rag on and just like start playing basketball. You know,
yeah,
like it's a very subtle line with it.
what's the problem with that? In all honesty, like I don't have a problem with a man that wants to dress like a woman, like 5 days out of the week. And
Thank you.
Like like times are changing now, and like a lot of people
So you will be in a relationship with a man who dresses like a woman. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, and I've
Why
seen
is he dressing like a woman?
because the clothing of a woman is determined, like feminine clothing is determined by our society anyway.
It
But,
is.
yeah, like I don't know if you remember, if like back in the day, or like hundreds of years ago, guys would be wearing freaking petticoats with wigs, makeup all powdered up and shit.
People wear skirts.
European men dress like that. You're right.
What?
European men dress like that. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's different across cultures. It's different across time periods. So, I mean, that's like a whole different, like, I don't know, a whole different thing to even dive into.
So
no, see what I was saying was that's how it, not like literally, but that's how it sounds to a man. Like when you say, I don't see myself being submissive, because I think that we are losing, like when we think of the word submissive, we're thinking about control, and we're just
power
one way out of this word, and it's not even like what
Just like what she just said
people
right here.
think it is now.
Exactly. It's not about like control.
Submission is a choice. You choose who you would like to submit, who you want to follow,
Exactly.
who you would trust to make the decision, who you would actually trust to have you sleep in the passenger seat while they drive the car to a long destination.
All of that comes with.
Wait, so let me ask you something, Clem. Like if you're in the passenger seat and they're driving over a cliff, like you don't grab over the wheel, or like you don't like jump out of the car. Like,
well, that's,
I mean,
the question that I'm trying to ask is like, when you know better than him, do you have to think about the power dynamic and adjust yourself around that, or can you just say what you mean, or say what the right thing is to them?
Yes,
because the problem with that is that you now have to, instead of actually telling him what the right answer is, you have to consider the power dynamic to make him feel like he's in control still. Like doesn't that elongate the problem? Doesn't that?
Well, y'all propaganda done ruined your generation, bro. Their propaganda that these different special interest groups, they have completely removed y'all from what's natural and thinking that this shit that is not natural is actually needed in life. Because what you just said has no bearing on that. No, absolutely. You say something. A woman, let's get biblical since we talk about all this other shit, men dressing like women, we're going to talk about Christ. She's a helpmeet. That means that she helps meet your needs. If your ass is falling asleep, she needs to hit you and say, wake up. Baby, I'm gonna drive because you too tired. Pull over right here. You see that? And the Bible says submit one to another. It does not say submit to the man. It says man and woman submit one to each other. Easiest way I've always done this, even in my relationship and how I handle it. My wife is on here. She said that, and at the end, I'll have the final say. But we talk about every damn thing. And things that she's good at, she's in charge of that. I help. Things that I'm good at, I'm in charge of it. She sit back because that's my expert thing. I was in sales for a long time. You're not buying the car. You don't know nowhere. I don't care what you read on the internet. I don't care what your daddy told you. I don't care. I was in that business for 14 years. I'm buying all the cars. Point blank, period. That's the way that it works. I know the whole thing. Now, when I want to buy land in the country where she is, I don't even speak the damn language that good. So guess who's going to negotiate? She is. She is. She's going to negotiate. She's going to translate why I'm still going to be there because I'm a better negotiator. There's tricks to negotiation that I know she don't know. So we're going to really collaborate on this particular play.
Yeah.
Look at it like it's like Kristen said. Look at it like it's a team. Teamwork